Hi you guys, it's me, Siani Marie. I'm back with another video, and today I'll be telling y'all a story time, as you can read by the title. So yeah, I feel like y'all enjoy my story times a lot. And if you bored in the house and you in the house bored in the house and you in the house bored, however that song goes, I don't want to get copyrighted. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. But I'm gonna just tell y'all a story that happened not too long ago, but a little long ago. So I was in a relationship with this boy, and our relationship was kind of like rocky a little bit because of like cheating and him cheating and drama and like stuff like that. Like we was already going through some like stuff, so it was kind of like tension between us a little bit because of the arguments that we would have. And this boy, I was cool with his mom. I was really cool with his mom, and me and his mom would always talk on the phone about him and wanting him to do better and stuff like that. I'm the type of girlfriend, and I was the type of girlfriend to him who wanted to see him do better, who I was just so determined to have him be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted him to do better for himself. And yeah, and around this time I was working at a makeup plaza, like a shopping plaza, and I was doing makeup around the time. So the reason why me and his mother was having a conversation about him, like I said, because we were worried about him. So oh my gosh, on this one particular day, he and I got into a heated argument, and it got so bad to the point where, because keep in mind, well, not keep in mind, y'all don't know this part, but he bought me a phone and he paid my phone bill and stuff like that. So we were on the phone arguing so freaking bad. Like, we was arguing so bad to the point where I told him to pull up. I said, you can pull up, pull up. Just all that, just drama. And then this girl that I was in the car with, she was looking at me like, oh my god, like, y'all are really getting into it. Like, she was kind of nervous. Like, I made her nervous because the way I would cuss this boy out. So I cussed him so bad. I cussed him out so bad to the point where I told him to come to my job and come pick up his phone. So that's exactly what he does. He comes to my job. I get in the car and we're talking, and I'm like, well, I have a client on the way, so I don't have too long. Here's your phone. And he's just like, girl, I don't want that phone, blah blah blah. So he's sitting talking to me about something that he's into. I'm not gonna get into it into too much detail, but he like talking about something that he's into, like kind of like trouble. So me, being a caring girlfriend that I am, I took the time out to talk to him about it and give him a suggestion. So me and this boy had planned on us to move to Texas with his father, and eventually me and him find a place down in Texas, because we visited there before and we absolutely loved it. So we planned on moving down there. Keep in mind, I'm only 18 years old. Like, I'm fresh out of freshman year of college. So you know, we were talking about that, and you know, it was really worrying me. It was really heavy on my heart, because I'm just like, I feel responsible for him, because you know, he's my boyfriend and I care so much about him. And it was just a lot of stress on me. So you know, I go back in the plaza, do makeup, whatever, that the day is over. The next day I didn't hear from him. And then the following day I didn't hear from him. And of course, I was calling him, blowing his phone up, like, is he ignoring me? Like, what the heck is going on? Why am I not hearing from him in a whole 2 days? Like, so I'm like, I call his mom. The first day I say, have you heard from him? Let's just call him Flintstone. So I'm like, have you heard from Flintstone? And she's like, Flintstone. That's the first name that popped in my head. So she's like, no, I haven't heard from him. And I was just like, okay, you know, I haven't heard from him all day. I'm worried. The next day, she calls me and tells me that he's locked up. So I'm like, what? I'm like, for what? Like, what happened? Like, I was just talking to him 2 days ago about us, you know, moving to Texas, doing all this other stuff. But then it clicked in my head. I'm like, you know, he probably got, you know, caught up into something. The police probably was like messing with him or something. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's probably what happened. I hope it's nothing serious, because this can be really, really serious. Like the way he ride and stuff like that. He probably had something in the car and got pulled over. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so worried. I am so freaking worried. So she calls me, and keep in mind, I'm at work when she calls me and tell me this, and I am devastated, and I'm just like, I'm so stressed out, and I'm gonna phone her, and I call her Ma at the time, because she was like a mom to me. So I was like, oh my god, Ma, like what did he do? What is wrong? Like, have you talked to him? Have you called him? And she says, yeah, she's talked to him, and he told her that he was locked up. And I was like, why didn't he call me? And then she was like, he don't remember your new phone number, because he had just bought me a new phone, so he didn't remember my number. He wanted to call me, he just didn't know my number. Okay, so that happens, and I'm just like really worried. So I go home from working, and then I get a text message, I get a Snapchat from this girl named, let's call her Maya. So I get a text from this girl named Maya. Me and Maya were friends at the time. So let me tell you me and Maya's friendship, how we met. Me and Maya met because me and this boy was together for 2 years at this point. Me and Maya met a year before. Like, so me and her met the first year of me and him dating. And I met her through him. Because the way that I met Maya is because Maya and Flintstone used to date back in high school. They used to talk. They used to be F buddies back in high school. So I knew that because how did I find that out? Like, I'm really trying. Oh, so let me tell you how me and Maya became friends. The first incident of me and Maya becoming friends, Maya had a cousin named Autumn. So Maya had a cousin named Autumn. Me and Autumn, I'm so sorry, this is like so confusing. I'm just trying to give you all the information. Me and this girl named Autumn we used to go to high school together, right? So this girl named Autumn hit me up on Snapchat, and she was like, this was when me and Flintstone first got together, right? So this girl named Autumn hit me up about me and Flintstone. When I first, you know, when you first post your boo and people know who you talking to. So Autumn commented on the picture of me and Flintstone, and she was like, so you and him date? Like, and I was like, yeah, girl, like, why? And then she was like, well, he's in love with my cousin. That's his first love, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Can't be true. So I ended up finding the cousin that she was talking about. So basically, allegedly, he was cheating on me with this girl named Maya. Right? So I finally somehow figure out this girl named Maya's information. I call her. I said, are you and Flintstone talking to each other? Like, is this something I need to know? Like, does he have a girlfriend? And she basically says no. Like, no, me and him haven't talked since high school. And I think she said 11th grade year of high school. I guess she said it was a long time ago since they talked and, you know, messed with each other. And she said she don't mess with him in that way. So I'm like, okay, so why would your cousin lie on you about, you know, messing with him? And she was probably like, well, she was like, she probably thought that we still talk, but we don't. So after me and Maya had that conversation, we would talk. Like, we talked on the phone for hours after that. That's how me and Maya got cool. Keep in mind, me and Maya got cool because they used to be rocking with each other. And I know y'all probably think, like, that's weird. Like, why would you befriend a girl that he used to talk to? And keep in mind, I was only 18 years old. But at the time, she was so cool to the point where I was like, you know, she said that they hadn't talked since high school, long time ago, blah, blah, blah. Me and her were cool. So Maya and Flintstone were still cool. So now getting back to current. So keep in mind, me and Maya are cool. And keep in mind, like, that was a whole year ago when I met her. That was a year. So we in the second year. That was the first year I met her. So we in the second year. Me and Maya are like, we cool. Like, I could call her my friend. So Maya texts me. She's like, you know Flintstone is locked up. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. I said, what happened? So she calls me. She tells me what happened. And she tells me that she was also locked up as well. she got locked up as well because of a certain transaction that they did, and I guess they got caught doing the transaction because they were on the camera. So they didn't steal nothing, like it was nothing like that. I'm just not gonna say what it is on camera because that's not my cup of tea. I ain't that type of bitch. They got cameras on there, and then the police pulled up on them, and they got caught. They got took to jail, right? So that's what she telling me. And then I'm just like, so why he's still locked up? Like, she said she was only there for a day. And I'm like, why is he still there? Like, y'all should have got on around the same time. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I don't know why he's still there, but I ended up calling my parents, and my parents bailed me out. So at this time, he didn't have a bond set for him. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm freaking out because if you don't got a bond set for you, that must mean you about to do some time or something. That must mean you can't even get a bond. And I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, wow, like, what the hell? Like, what was y'all even doing? In my head, I wasn't thinking like, what was y'all doing together, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, me and this girl was cool. I didn't think nothing of them two at the time at all. Like, it was all like, we was friends. Me and my boyfriend were friends with her. She says that she has a number up to the place. She's gonna call for him. So she knows how much I love this boy. She knows. So I'm on the phone with him. We having the hardest time trying to make this call because when you an inmate, I guess, or something like that, when you locked up, it's a paid call. You gotta keep paying for it. So I tried to put my card information on to the number, but I guess I didn't have any cash on the card. I thought I did, but it turned out I didn't have any cash on the card. So I'm like, why can't I talk to him? Long story short, I ended up talking to him on three-way with his mother, and we talked, and he said his court date was the next day. So his court date was the next day. So he told me that, and he told me, like, he's like, you know, I love you. You know, we on the phone. I'm like, I love you too. I just, like, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait for you to get out. I'm freaking out. When I tell you I didn't eat for a whole 3 days because I was just so stressed out and so worried that I was never gonna, like, I was just so scared. So long story short, we got off the phone. He tells us before he gets off the phone, my court date is tomorrow. I got a bond. Well, I think he said we're gonna figure out if I got a bond tomorrow. So I'm like, I'm coming up there. Keep in mind, I don't have a car yet. I don't know how I'm gonna get up there. His mother lives on the other side of town. We got to be there at a certain time. We got to be there by, I think we had to be there by 11 o'clock. So it wouldn't make sense for her to drive all the way to my place and then all the way there, and we got to be there around a certain time. So I'm like, I got to figure out a route to how to get to this courthouse. So I talked to Maya. I was like, Maya, you know, I feel like since she had something to do with it, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, could you take me up there to go get him tomorrow? And she like, yeah. So keep in mind, me and him don't live with each other around this time. I'm only 18 years old. I'm young. Okay, I'm fresh out of college. So I'm like, girl, are you going to be able to take me? She said, yeah. She says, you will have to meet me halfway there, though. The night before, I came to the conclusion, like, okay, I'm gonna get up early. I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to make some money real quick to bail him out. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I already had clients. I had so many clients that day, the next day. But I had to cancel on, like, 5 of them. I had 2 that morning. So I had to wake up at 6 o'clock. I got there at 6:15 because my job is not that far. It's like a couple minutes away. I got on my job at 6:15. I did 2 faces. So around this time, it's like 11 o'clock. I mean, not 11, 10 o'clock. So now I got enough money to put in on his bond because I don't know how much it is. I canceled all my other appointments. So I went to this lady named Miss P. She works there at the salon as well. And I said, Miss P, if I give you this cash, could you cash app it to me because I need cash on my car. I gotta leave. So she cash apped me the money. I get Lyft to a Metro PCS that's halfway to the point where I told the girl Maya to pick me up. I get to the Metro, Maya picks me up, and as me and Maya are in the car, me and Maya are talking about how much she's changed. And keep in mind, this I call this girl my friend at the time. We talk about how much she's changed as far as not in a good way, like going downhill, and how we both know the real him, because she knew him before I knew him. But since I was his girlfriend, paid attention to every little thing, and I talked to his mother, I knew more than she did. Like, you just knew him from high school. I knew way more because of his mother and his father and his grandmother. So I know his whole family telling me things about him that don't nobody know. But of course I didn't tell her the stuff, because at the end of the day, that's not her business. So we like talking, like, you know, and she's like, I know you love him, girl. I know you love him. I know you're just tired. You know what I'm saying? And she just giving me advice like, if he don't change, you know, you're gonna have to move on for the better of your life. You only 18. You know, giving me real life advice, real bitch advice. So she giving me advice, and I'm like, you know, I'm listening. Like, you know, you're right. I'm just tired. Like, I'm just really tired of this. Like, because I was already going through stuff before this, like with him. So we get to the courthouse. I never did this before. I get inside the courthouse, right? We sit down. We go in there. It's really quiet. And the judge is an older judge, and it's a TV screen monitor that the inmates are speaking through to speak their side in order to get released, or whatever the case may be. It was inmates on the screen talking. So we were waiting. Excuse me. We were waiting for him, and he was set to go at, I think, 1 o'clock. So we were waiting. So it was, by that time, it was like 12 o'clock when we got there. So we had an hour left until he got on the screen and said his piece to the judge. So like I said, me and Maya walk into the courtroom. We sit down, and we watching other people, and then me and her looking at each other like so confused, because it was like the judge was making jokes, and like people were laughing and stuff in the courthouse. It felt like I was on Judge Judy. You know how you on Judge Judy, the show, they show the audience and stuff? I feel like I was on a TV show or something, and I'm just like, we looking at each other like, is this serious? Like, are we on the show? Kind of making jokes. And I'm like, I asked her, I said, you know what time he's supposed to be up? She said they said that he was supposed to be up around 1 o'clock to say his piece to the judge. So as we're waiting, we see one of his friends that I'm familiar with. Let's call him Jay. So this is another friend. So Jay walks in, and I'm cool with Jay because of Flintstone, right? I actually call this nigga Flintstone. So Jay walks in. Me and Maya knows Jay as well. And then when another one of his friends walks in that I'm not really too familiar with, but I kind of knew that was there for him because he was with Jay. Then two girls walk in as well. Okay, so two girls walk in. It's a white girl and then it's a mixed girl. They walk in and they sit in the 2 rows behind me, because he and his other friend sat in that row, and then the other two girls sat in the 3rd row, trying to see who's all here for him. His mom didn't end up making it in time enough in order to her to hear his side of the story. So, you know, we sitting in there and whatever, waiting for him. And when these girls walk in, I felt something. Like, my intuition told me he messed with one of those girls, because who are these girls? I've never seen them before. I never heard of them before. Who are these girls? And my head, I was like, oh, he must be messing with the mixed girl, because he told me he would never talk to a white girl. So I'm like, okay, so he won't talk. So I'm like, nah, it's not the white girl. He must be talking to the mixed girl. So my intuition told me he messing with one of these girls. But that was just my intuition. I look over at Maya and I was like, you know who those 2 girls are? And she's like, no, I don't know who they are. And I'm just like, that's weird. So I thought they just came for Jay and his friend. I'm like, okay, so they must be there. Anyways, he gets on the stand and he talks to the judge. That whole thing is a situation. When he got up there, he was a whole totally different person. He went straight to Steve Urkel. I'm like, whoa, I never saw this side of you before. I thought you were just Mr. Tough Guy. You know, and nothing wrong with that. Is nothing wrong with that, but it's just I would never expect him to just switch it off like that. That's just a whole nother story within itself. Anyways, he gets on the stand. He says his piece. He's just a whole different person. The judge talks to him. Whatever. They give him a bond, I think of $200 and something. And I had my money ready, and I was texting some of his friends saying, oh, if like the other friends that even wasn't even there, asking them like, hey, can y'all put chip in on him, because I only had like $90. So I'm like, I got $90 saved up. I'm texting other people just in case they don't have it, whatever. So I told his mom, called his mom. I told her how much it was and whatever. So he ends up getting his bail bond, and we leave the courtroom. Then we walk over to this other building, and me and Maya walk over to this other building, and the other friends walk away. They outside in the parking lot. So we're in two different areas of this building. We're walking over to the other side, me and Maya. We talked to this officer about signing this paper that has something to do with him showing up to his next court date, and if I sign it, I'm responsible. And she was like, you shouldn't sign that, girl, you should have his mom sign it. So we wait till his mom get there. We sit and we wait for him, and we wait about 15-20 minutes, wait for him. So we paid the person, his mom shows up, she chipped in, G chipped in, I did too. And then we waiting for him to come out, and we were all talking, kind of all talking to each other. I'm talking to his mom, Jay talking to his mom, whatever, blah blah blah. We all socializing, right? So and he comes down the stairs, because it was a stairway that we was waiting on. He comes down the stairs. Keep in mind, I haven't seen him in 4 days, right? And he comes down, he sees me and Maya together, Jay and his mother. So he talks to Jay. He was talking to Jay and Maya more than he was talking to me. It was like it was just the whole energy was off. Like he was like I just remember something while filming this video, because it's like when you telling a story, it's like you forget some parts, but now that I'm filming it, I forgot something. So Jay talks to Flintstone, and he's like, hey, this white old lady came up here to see you. This white old lady came up here to see you. And then Flintstone like, what white old lady came up here to see me? Like, what? Like, he thinking in his head. So what that was Jay giving Flintstone the sign that it was a white girl, a white lady up here, an old white lady up to there see him. And I'm thinking in my head, like, what white old lady would come up here to see him? Like, a white old lady. And he was confused too. But you'll see what I mean. Just keep watching the video, y'all. Funny towards me, and I'm just like, what do you think? If you gone like we was gone for 4 days, you ain't had nothing to eat, you don't want to talk to me? Like, it was just off. Like, you would think that if your boyfriend fresh out, whatever the case may be, how long it's been, you would think he would run up to you and hug you and say, I missed you, and baby, thank you for coming. He didn't even speak to me. So I felt real off about that. You know, I am not the same person I was back then. I would have really cut up. I would have cussed him out in front of everybody. Like, oh, so you don't want to speak to me after I missed out on money? I am not the same girl I used to be. So, because now I know why he was acting like that, and we're going to get to that. So he's acting real weird. I'm just like, why is he talking to Maya and Jay before you talking to me? So whatever. Now we're walking to the parking lot. He's living with someone else during the time. He's living with his friend's mom. So the friend that walked in with Jay, he's living with her mom. Him and his mom. So we walked to this guy's car. Jay's friend that he brought him. We walked to his car, and there's the mix. So they already in the car. Is the other boy that came with Jay. It's the white girl on the passenger, and it's the mixed girl in the back seat. So we walking up to the car. You know, the white girl, she's smoking a cigarette. I'm like, nasty. Pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, he couldn't be talking to her, right? So he walks over to the car. He speaks to them. He's talking to them for a little while, and they get out the car. The two girls get out the car, and they get into a different car. They get into the car that they rode in. So now his mother left. Flintstone's mother left. Maya left too. And Jay left as well. right? So it's me, Flintstone, and this other guy that came to pick him up. So I never met this guy before. We were going to his house. I've never been to the house before, but we were on the way to the house. He's kind of still barely not talking to me. Like, he's just talking about what happened and how hungry he was and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm so glad you're back. And he just barely talking to me. Like, I don't know why. And I was so timid and quiet back then. So I'm just like, you know, he probably irritated. I'm just glad he home. I'm glad to finally be with him. I'm not even gonna complain about nothing. I ain't even gonna say nothing to him. I already know he irritated. So we get to the house. We get to this lady's house. Like I said, I've never met this lady before. It's apartments. So it's like an apartment complex. So we get into the apartment, right? And this lady already had cooked for him because she knew that he was coming home. So he ate his food and whatever. And he asked me, was I hungry? And I was like, no, I'm probably about to leave to go do some client's makeup. I'm not sure if I am or not. So that was in my head. I'm in the living room. The lady that was at the house that I met, she was a cool lady. Eventually, during that whole day, me and her got close within one day. She just liked my energy. She liked my vibe, right? So the mixed girl and the white girl shows up to this lady's house, and so the two girls, so the white girl and the mixed girl, that I thought one of them was talking to him, they show up to the house, right? They come in, they sit at the table, and I am in the living room. In two different rooms, right? Two different rooms, but you can clearly see into the living room to the dining room, basically. So they in the dining room, I'm in the living room watching TV. Flintstone is in the back room with his friend that picked him up and the brother that was there. He's in the back room where he sleeps at. And I'm waiting for him to come out to talk to me, because I'm not about to keep going to you. You need to come talk to me. I missed out on money. I saved up money to come here. That's how I got into dancing, because I was trying to stack money up. So it's just like, I'm doing all the sacrifices for you. You can come and you can talk to me. I didn't say that to him, but I was on the couch thinking in my head the whole time, why is he not talking to me? Like, this is some bullshit. And I was getting irritated. So I texted my best friend about it. And she was just like, why is he acting funny? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just sitting on the couch irritated watching TV. So the white girl and the mixed girl, they friends, they talking, what, blah, blah, blah. Then the mother that was living in the house, she was talking to them. And then one of the girls was like, why are you looking at me like that? And then the mother that was living there, she was like, what? She said, why are you making that face? And then the mother was like, you don't ask me why I'm making a certain face in my house. If you don't like it, you can get up and get the fuck out of here. So it was like kind of awkward. I'm just like, whoa, like, where did that come from? And then the girl was like, I was just playing. It was just a joke. You don't got to be all serious about it. And she was like, no, you don't ask a grown woman why she looking a certain way in her own house. And I'm just thinking in my head, I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, I know that's right. Who are these girls anyways? So whatever, that happened. So I text my friend Iris. Me and her was friends. I don't care. I'm gonna say her real name. I really don't care about disguising her name. I shouldn't disguise nobody's name in this video, to be honest. But Iris, I text her. I was like, can you come pick me up, girl? She said within the next 30 minutes I can pick you up, because I have a client right now. She's an esthetician, so she did eyebrows. It didn't take her that long to do eyebrows. So she's like, yeah, I can pick you up in 30 minutes. So I walk in the room and I say, I'm about to go. You know, I'm about to go ahead and go. I'm about to go back to the shop and do some makeup, because I got some clients waiting on me at the shop. So he's like, you about to go? So he laying on this mattress. He laying on a little blow-up mattress. He like, let me stop. He like, you about to leave? You about to leave? And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to leave. I'm about to go. And then the mother standing in the doorway as I'm talking to him, and she's like, you better talk to your girlfriend. So by that time she knew that I was his girlfriend. So she told him, she was like, get up and talk to your girlfriend before she leaves. What are you doing? So he like, come here, don't leave. I give him a hug, whatever. The day goes on, right? I end up not leaving because he didn't want me to leave. And he was like, so me being a girlfriend I ended up not leaving because I want to spend time with him. And now that he's talking to me now, I'm like, you know, I'll just stay here, you know, and feed him and take care of him here at the house that I, you know, didn't even know too much about. So But the lady was real cool. By that time, me and her was like cool that first day. So he like, I want you to stay. I ended up spending the night. I took care of him, everything. Took care of this dude, everything, right? So that situation happened. After that situation, me and him were good. We were good for about, we lasted for about 4 months after that. And then I ended it, right? 4 months after that, then I ended it. I never found out nothing about that situation. I never knew why he was acting weird. A whole year later, 1 year later, 1 year later, by the time me and him are done with each other, we'll be on and off kinda, still dealing with him, not really. I posted something on Snapchat about me and him dealing with each other and him trying to, you know, have sexual relations with me. And I posted like, I did post it, I'm like, if this boy don't leave me alone, because I would clown him like that. I surely would. And Maya DMs me and says, I gotta call you later and tell you something. And I'm like, ugh, what did he do now? So by the time me and Maya kind of fell off a long time ago, we didn't beef, we didn't fall out or nothing. We just fell off. We just grew apart. She never calls me. I text her. I said, what did you have to tell me? What did you call me? So she calls me and she says, I don't know if I want to tell you this or not, but you know, at first I was kind of sorry, that's my mom in the background. She was like, so first, you know, I wasn't going to tell you, but now I'm just going to come out and tell you. I'm like, what's up, Maya? You know what I'm saying? She was like, me and Flintstone have been dealing with each other, this, you know, for a couple, you know, weeks now. And I just don't, she just going to come up with this bullshit stuff. So I just don't want him to hurt you. You know, I don't think it's right that he trying to talk to you and then talk to me, blah, 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 say blah. And I was at the point where I was just over it. When I tell you I was over this dude, when he would do to me, her telling me was nothing compared to what I've been through with him. And then me and her were friends at one point, so I did feel like she owed me some loyalty. I said, you know, Maya, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's fake. You're fake for that. Although y'all talked first years ago, I feel like that's fake, and I'm keeping it real with you. And I said, because I'm over him, I said, if I wasn't over him if I wasn't over him the way I'm over him now, I would have told you to pull up so we can buck it out, because I feel like that's fake. I told her that on the phone. She was quiet. She was like, you know, I understand, but I'm letting you know, like, he not being real, basically. So I'm like, you know, whatever. And I said, you know what, Maya, the old me would have been mad, but thank you for telling me. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for telling me. So now I can completely free myself from him. That was the last day I felt out of love completely. I ain't had no love for him at all. Ever since that day, I don't got love for him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If I see him on the street, I help him. If he call me, you know, I talk to him for a little while. But I am not. After that day, I fell out in love with that boy. I was over it, because I was like, wow, like, you was supposed to be my friend. You was supposed to be my dude. I thought you said that you never looked at her like that. And then I saw that he was just going downhill. Right? So while me and Maya are on the phone, guess what she tells me? She says, you know, I'm just tired of him doing you wrong, blah, blah, blah. She says, and I found out he was messing with that white girl when we went up to the courthouse that one day. He was messing with her. And I said, wow, so that's why he was acting so funny towards me. So the whole time I was at that courthouse, I don't know if he knew that she was going to show up. He was messing with this girl. He was messing with this girl the whole time. And I also believe that he was messing with Maya the whole time too. Because why not? Why would I not put it past her? That was probably messing with each other too. That's probably why she was telling me, oh, blah, 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 leave him, you know, if he does, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like both of them were his side chick at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you had feelings enough for him. I don't care. If I'm somebody's friend, feelings are out the window when it comes to your dude. So I came to the conclusion she was probably most likely messing with him the whole entire time. Me and her were friends. And the white girl that was two rows behind me was his other girlfriend. I don't know if it was his girlfriend. Nah, it wasn't his girlfriend. It wasn't his girlfriend. It was somebody he was messing with. One thing I will say about him, he never claimed another girl to be his girlfriend. He would just have side chicks. He would never have, and I know this to this day because I'll find out stuff about him from years later. I'm still finding out stuff about this dude from years later. So in my head, I'm just like, wow, so, you know, that's why he was acting funny towards me. That's why he wasn't talking to me. Because you had this bitch in the same house as me. You had this girl just show up and I had the money ready to bail you out. You had this girl in the same building as your mom, in the same building as me. That's why he was acting funny. Because he thought I knew. He thought I knew. He thought I knew that the white girl that showed up, he thought I knew that he was messing with her. I had no clue. But my intuition told me as soon as they walked in that room, I felt something. And that's a lesson. This story is also a lesson. If you feel your intuition is telling you something, it's something. It's something. It's a reason. And if your dude is acting weird and acting funny and acting off, it's a reason too. So speculate, sis. I am not the same Siani I was when I was 18 years old. It's been 2 years, and 2 years has done a lot to me. But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for that story. I'm grateful he did me that way. I'm grateful Maya did me that way. I'm grateful Maya told me what happened. I'm grateful that I'm still finding that stuff about him. I just recently found out more about the girl he was messing with like 3 days ago from somebody else. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Both of his side chicks showed up to that courthouse. Both of them. And I say both, I say Maya too. I think Maya was messing with him the whole entire time. So yes, I do say both side chicks showed up to that courthouse, and one of those side chicks was my friend the whole time. She was never I feel like she was never my friend. Both showed up, you know what I'm saying? Neither one of them was woman enough to let me know what was up at that moment. So side chick, and it was cool with it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so don't just go around calling people your friends. Don't just go around with any dude. Believe in everything that he says. And somebody else is coming to you telling you different from what he's telling you. Speculate. Because at the end of the day, the whole time, I looked so dumb. I looked so stupid. I looked so dumb. I feel like I looked so dumb. I missed out on money. I took care of him that day. I stacked my money to get him out. And I was friends with this girl that was trying to help me get to him and take care. It's crazy. So, yeah, y'all. And he probably doesn't know that I know now. He probably don't care. I mean, I don't care no more, but it's something that happened, and I hope you guys can learn from this story. Don't go out your way to help a guy who puts himself in harm's way. You have a life to live. This world is already coming to an end. So 2020, leave him, because you don't need him. The only man that you need to please is God. Once you please God, you shall not please no man. Once you please God, you shall not have to please no man at the end of the day. And that's the woman that he's shifted me in the direction to be. He didn't make me this way. He put me away so much to the point where I found God. Thank you. Thank you for serving your purpose. And I'm not mad about it. I'm aggressive. I'm an aggressive talker. But to my ladies out there, I'm only 20 years old. I'm about to be 21 soon, July 2nd. So all my ladies out there, don't go out your way to help a dude. Don't miss out on your money for a dude who puts himself in harm's way, who has cheated on you, who has hurt you, who has lied to you, who has never apologized to you for anything he's done. Don't. Because why? You missing out. He's taking from you. Be with a man who adds on to you, who helps you grow as a woman, who helps you find God, who talks to, y'all talk about God together. That's the type of man you should go to war for, because y'all both at war together against this world, but y'all both got God within your relationship, right in the middle, right? So, Don't do that for no boy. I was only 18. I would never in life ever do it again. That's why I'm so glad I experienced it when I was 18 years old, because I would never do it ever again in my 20s. And usually that's when girls do this type of stuff in their 20s. Never doing it again. Never doing it again. Because guess what? I know what I want, and I know what I deserve. I know my worth. Because when I tell you, I've been through some shit with that boy. He put me through some shit. So I know what not to go for. I know how to not be treated. Him showing me how not to be treated has given me clarity as to how I should be treated. So thank you for serving your purpose. Both of them, everybody who was faking that situation, thank you. Because guess what? I'm getting paid off of all of this. So tune in, honeys, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, ladies. Know your worth. Pray to God, get close to God, because once you please God, you shall not have to please any man, right? So that's all I have for this story, you guys. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like, comment down below if you ever dealt with something like this before. And yeah, I love y'all so much. Happy Sunday. I will be posting this on Sunday so y'all can have something to watch, because I know y'all bored and this is interesting to watch. So make sure you leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.